Today we will be going over a brief summary of Alexander Hamilton's life. So let's get into it. So Alexander Hamilton was born between 1755 and 1757 on the island of Nevis, located in the Caribbean. His mother was already married to another man when she became pregnant with Alexander. His father, a Scottish trader named James Hamilton, would leave the family in 1766, and his mother would die in 1768. And now, when Alexander was 11, he was hired as a clerk in a trading company. And soon after, he would write a memoir or a pamphlet detailing a hurricane that had hit the island in 1772, and local people decided to raise some money for this up-and-coming writer so he could go to the Americas and attend a college, and so that's just what he did. He went to New York and he attended King's College, and then, while studying in New York, he would write a pamphlet endorsing the colonies separating from Great Britain. And then, well, the war started, and during that, Hamilton would join the colonial army and lead a artillery company. In 1777, George Washington was impressed with Hamilton's writing abilities and his bravery, so he was given a position on George Washington's staff. And in 1780, Alexander married Elizabeth Schuyler. And later in 1781, Alexander would leave Washington's staff and briefly would return to the war, playing a role in the Battle of Yorktown. And after the war, Hamilton was sent to be a delegate in the Confederation Congress as a delegate for New York. And Hamilton would suggest that senators would have a term limit as long as their life, which that was obviously shot down and did not happen. And after his times as the delegate for New York, he would study at a New York college in law, and then he would open up a New York law practice. And then in 1789, Hamilton, after the unanimous election of George Washington to be the first president of the United States, George Washington would elect Hamilton to be the first Secretary of the Treasury in 1789. And then later, in 1795, Hamilton would step down from office, and he would return to his New York law firm. In 1797, Alexander Hamilton would publish a pamphlet known as the Reynolds Pamphlet, in which he described his affair with a married woman whose name was Maria Reynolds. And this would be terrible for Alexander. It would end up ruining his reputation and his character. And in 1801, it inadvertently led to his son's death. Because in 1801, his eldest son, Philip Hamilton, entered in a duel with George Ecker in an attempt to protect his father's reputation. And he sustained fatal injuries. This devastated Alexander and his wife, Elizabeth, and they would mainly reclude from a public life. And in 1804, Alexander Hamilton would enter in a duel with Aaron Burr, a political rival, and he would also sustain fatal injuries, and he died. Thank you for watching this short history of Alexander Hamilton's life.